That's a long 1 minute. Okay, we're ready. Ed, we're ready. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to the Code Board meeting here in Titusville. Please turn off your cell phones, put them on silent or whatever. Again, thank you for coming. The city desires to accommodate persons with disabilities. Accordingly, any physically handicapped person pursuant to Chapter 286.26 Florida statutes should, at least 48 hours prior to the meeting, submit a written request to the chairperson that the physically handicapped person desires to attend the meeting. Any person who decides to appeal any decision of the Code Enforcement Board with respect to any matter considered at this meeting will need a record of the proceedings, and for such purpose may need to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceeding is made, which record includes the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based. Any person or defendant who requests to review or object to any exhibits presented to the Code Enforcement Board by the City of Titusville prior to submission to the Code Enforcement Board must stand and state their request to review the exhibits prior to review by the Board at the time their case or agenda item comes before the Board for hearing. Any person found to be in violation of the City of Titusville's Code of Ordinances and given a time frame in which to comply shall, upon compliance, be responsible for contacting the Code Enforcement Supervisor for an inspection to verify said compliance. The violation will not be considered to be in compliance until the Code Enforcement Supervisor is notified and verifies compliance. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we have a quorum. Would you please swear in the staff, madam?
Yes, you will. Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay. Everybody had a chance to look over the minutes from last month? Any changes, questions, concerns? All right, I need a motion to move the minutes, to accept the minutes. So moved.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Ed, second by Joe to accept the minutes of last month. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Member Ozon?
Yes.
Member Richardson?
Yes.
Member Edens?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Beckles?
Yes.
Member Grant?
Yes.
Member Monis?
Yes.
Chairman Bell?
Yes. Motion carried. All right, Ms. Chelsea, you're up.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The first case under old business that you have on your agenda today is case number 18-116 for the property located at 585 Birchwood Lane. This case has been previously continued, and again, the city wishes to continue this matter as there is a pending eviction matter going on at this address that has not been resolved. I wish to continue this case until November.
So moved.
Second. All right. Motion by Ed, second by Ashley to continue this case until next month. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Member Richardson?
Yes.
Member Edens?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Beckles?
Yes.
Member Grant?
Yes.
Member Monis?
Yes.
Member Ozon?
Yes.
Chairman Bell?
Yes. Motion carried.
The next case on your agenda, number 18-117, is for the property located at 2225 Monticello Court. Again, this case was previously continued, and the city wishes to continue this case for one more month until your November Code Board meeting.
So moved. Second. Okay. Motion by Ashley, second by Suzanne to continue this case until next month. Any questions?
Is there a specific reason why?
The owner-occupied residence has made partial payment but has not completed the payment necessary to get the water activated.
Roll call vote, please.
Member Edens?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Beckles?
Yes.
Member Grant?
Yes.
Member Moniz?
Yes.
Member Ozon?
Yes.
Member Richardson?
Yes.
Chairman Bell?
Yes, motion carried.
The next case on your agenda, number 18-120, is for the repeat violation of overgrowth located at the property located at 1475 Thornton Avenue. I have Officer Tuggle here to provide testimony that the property was brought into compliance when the city requested that a city contractor mow the property on September 24th. The property was ordered to be corrected by September 17th. Therefore, the property remained in violation for 7 days after this board had ordered its order to correct. If there are any questions, I have Officer Tuggle here, and she's also here to provide testimony about the compliance. Ms. Tuggle? Okay, I have a correction. Officer Tuggle, when was the property located at 1475 Thornton Avenue brought into compliance for the violation of overgrowth?
September 25th.
Does the board have any questions for Officer Tuggle?
Yes.
So, go ahead.
How long was this case being seen by us?
Ms. Tuggle, when was your first inspection of this property for this particular case?
On June 28th.
Thank you.
So are you saying then that currently the property is in compliance, but it wasn't in compliance at the date that we had established?
Correct.
Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we just need to find that it was not in compliance for those 8 days?
That's correct. And you have the option to assess a fine for those 8 days or not. It's up to this board to have that discussion.
It says that this is a repeat violation. Do you know how long ago we had the same situation at this property?
I believe it was in 2016.
December 2016.
Okay.
Is this property in litigation because the owner's dead?
No, sir.
Okay. So,
There actually is a point of contact, but they haven't reached her on this particular case. Carol Garrett in Gainesville.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
Good memory.
I have
Good
notes.
One more question, please, if you don't mind. I think you mentioned something about the city taking care of the property at one time?
Right now, the statement for September 20, or sometime in September, the city had a contractor go out and cut the property.
This would
Is
be
that-
the 8th time that the city's mowed this property.
So the city is the one who brought this property under compliance, not the owner?
Correct.
Thank you.
What happens, it'll just come back in front of us once it grows back again?
The property will need to be recited for a future case.
You in contact with Carol at all?
I have not had any contact with her.
Have you?
Nor have I.
Taxes paid?
I did not look that information up today.
What do y'all want to do?
I can make a motion, but what verbiage do we use when we have an end date like this?
You can,
What can we do?
what you would do is you would find them in compliance now, and you would set the date that you would want any fine to run. So they were supposed to come into compliance by September 17. So if you choose to assess a fine, then it would be, the fine would run from September 17 to the 25th.
But my question is that they themselves did not cause the property to come into compliance. The city did.
Correct. And you can take that into consideration when assessing, determining the amount of any fine you want to impose.
So
But-
in essence, then, they haven't done anything to, as far as achieving compliance, the property owner, I mean.
That's correct, sir.
Doesn't the city automatically charge a certain amount for, isn't it like $200 to mow or something?
The cost for mowing the property depends on the property, and there is a set formula that the contractors will use, and that amount will be assessed against the property, but that's separate from the code case today.
So we don't even consider that part of this scenario.
Just know that it's in compliance.
So it took it from the 17th to the 25th to be in compliance. That's what you need to worry about. Don't worry about city mowing it. That's not our,
But it's an
Sort of.
artificial compliance.
It's a factor. I'm just saying, don't think about the cost of that as something that's a part of this case.
I understand
because it's a
that, but
separate
just, that's
cost.
not what we just want to know about it being in compliance, the fact that it wasn't in compliance for that week.
Very well.
Okay, I can make a motion.
All right, go.
I move that the board issue its order finding compliance in case number 18-120, the defendant Clara A. Walsh Life Estate, in compliance with the prior decision of this board issued in the case and closing this proceeding. But the board would like to impose a $150 fine for the dates of September 17th through September 25th, as the property was not in compliance by our deadline.
Can we do that like that? Without doing a daily rate? Can we do-
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you should. That's how you
Okay.
should do it. You should
All
do it a daily fine that will run from the 17th to the 25th.
But she just did a,
Second.
okay,
So that, is that what you're doing, is 150 per day?
Yes,
okay.
per day.
Well, we didn't hear that part. One per day. Okay. Second was you?
Second stands.
Okay. Motion by Ashley, second by Ed. Any questions? Just to make sure, it's $150 per day.
Yes.
Start date, well.
September
that'll-
17th through September 25th.
So what happens now?
Well, we haven't finished yet.
Well, you said if I had any questions.
Yeah, okay. Go
So
ahead.
what happens now?
She said it will have to be cited again. So this it rides.
So
When
it
it
has-
overgrows again, they'll have to cite them again and it'll come back.
So there's really nothing we can actually get done to make this come into compliance? All we can do is find them?
This property is in compliance today, and in
Because-
the event that the property is not mowed in the future, then the officer will go out and inspect the property and cite it as needed when the property comes into violation again. Of course, it's becoming winter and may be some time before that happens again. It's cyclical, probably next spring. You'll hear this case again unless the property changes hands. I don't know what will happen in the future. But today, the property is in compliance, and the fine will be recorded on the public records, and it will be added to the already existing fine amount that's against the property, because there are prior cases that have not been satisfied. And at the end of the day, somebody will come to my office and ask for a release and satisfaction of the several judgments that are running against this property. And if the property is in violation in the future, we'll deal with it then.
They're gonna wind up putting a lien on that property or something.
Okay.
Any more questions? Roll call vote, please.
Vice Chairman Beckles?
Yes.
Member Edens?
Yes.
Member Monas?
Yes.
Member Ozon?
Yes.
Member Richardson?
Yes.
Member Grant?
Yes.
Chairman Bell?
Yes, motion carried. Second part of the motion, please, or,
Is there? No, I think that was complete.
okay. All right. Oh, new cases.
That brings us into new business. The first case listed under new business is number 18-132 for the property located at 35 Hilltop Drive. This case has been brought into compliance, and the city has closed this matter. No action is required of this board.
Thank you. Right.
And with case number 18-139, same result. 3125 Columbia Boulevard is in compliance, and the city has closed this matter. No action is required. For case number 18-144, the property located at 2305 Cheney Highway has also been brought into compliance, and no action is required of this board. Which concludes the items requiring action listed on your agenda today.
You said 2:15.
2:15.
Off topic, I had my mom picking my daughter up at 2:30, but do we think we'll be out of here by then?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Cancel the
I think
reinforcements? Okay.
we're done.
Just make sure we don't have like crazy board reports or anything.
Okay, well, well, we haven't got to that part yet, but let's do that. Let's do that now. Because I do have a question, but we'll do that later. So all these, we don't have to see all, we don't have to hear about all these others that didn't do what they're supposed to do. Business tax receipt.
They did do what they were supposed to do.
Well,
That's
I
why
mean,
you don't have
but
to
we
hear
don't have
about
to do
them.
anything with it.
That's correct.
Cannot, storage facility, I mean, storage.
And you may, it's possible that this portion of the agenda may not appear in future agendas. We're in discussions on staff level about whether the cases not heard by the board
Oh, okay.
are helpful or not to the
Well, I just like
agenda.
to see what's on there. That's okay. I
That
can't,
That just gives us a good idea of what y'all have done, keep track of things. I just list them on the agenda, or give us a synopsis.
Yeah, yes, sir. I was going to bring that up under my seat, actually, is to, as we're moving forward with the changes that we've made, if y'all are okay with that, not okay with that, and I was going to ask for any other input that you may have for us, as if we've changed the agenda, we changed the minutes. Ms. Nutcher is going to provide some training, which has some stuff with it, so just trying to look for input of which way y'all wish to go. If you like it, we'll leave it. If you don't, we'll remove it. Whatever y'all prefer.
I do have a question, sir, concerning the case that we just discussed, the one that where we find the defendant $150 per day.
Mm-hmm.
This case virtually starts over now from the beginning. from
Right.
zero.
Well, you have to remember, it was a repeat
And-
case. So
But it's in
actually, we don't
compliance
have to
now.
provide notice to them. We can bring them those straight here.
Well, you can't.
And up
You
to
don't have to go
500.
through all the,
We post and boom, we bring it because they are repeat. And you can go up to 500.
so that was my concern, that you would have to go from the time
But-
wasted
But
between.
it is shortened down, and Ms. Nutcher, I'm sure, but basically, it's yards, driveways. We typically don't do that until we get some kind of ruling from the board. And gets that, and then, because you have to remember, the neighbors are calling us like every day. And once it gets to a point, I just order it mowed. And it's a service that's provided. And for each time we do that, a lien's set against the property, and at some point in time, they have to come see our attorney, and she'll work the collections of it. She gets quite a bit of money back for that service, actually.
that's the reason they keep doing it.
So
'cause they're
even
getting
though you're
paid.
not dealing with the mowing here, don't think that you're just getting free. So even though we were just dealing with the compliance issue, don't think they're getting a free mow from the city.
Yeah, it's not being done for free.
Okay, all right.
You get, we recoup the cost.
Because I was beginning to think that if Ashley hadn't put the fine on, that this person
Oh, no, sir,
could
that wasn't gonna
continue
happen.
doing this for a long time.
Yeah, no, sir, that's not gonna happen.
Even with the fine, they probably will still continue to do it, but.
Well,
What our-
as we said, this particular case was a unique case. The first time it came in front of y'all, actually, we had dialogue with the daughter of the deceased homeowner. This time, it wasn't as easy, so. So it could be, as the attorney said, it could be some things going on, a sale, I don't know. But it's not in probate, is it? No.
Well, thank you for the education, sir.
So with that, so we'll go ahead and knock mine out. Do y'all-
Yours is done.
Do we have any,
As far as those cases not heard by the board,
yes, sir?
my feeling is they don't have to be on the agenda. Just give us a summary of the things that would be normally on the agenda that your staff has solved.
Okay, I could run that and just give it under my seat,
Yeah.
if y'all are fine with that.
When you're talking about repeat offenders, the ones that we don't see,
Uh-huh.
because I got one in mind, they are still, y'all still go out and everything, even though, what do y'all do for them if they are repeat offenders and they don't ever make it to the board?
Well, if they're not coming here, we've got compliance in some kind of fashion.
Okay.
Like I said, we only come here if every last resort effort has been exhausted. We just can't get there from here.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you, sir.
Anything else from me? And if y'all notice, you got the 2018 editions of the IPMC And with that, I believe it's back to you, Madam Chair.
Back to the, thank you. Ms. Nusher, you got anything for us today?
No, I do not.
Great, thanks. Chelsea, you have anything?
I think y'all can hear me. Is it connected?
You're connected together. That's okay.
So there's just one reminder for you all that next month we're going to have a training at 1 o'clock. It's going to be posted that you all are invited to come join us in Chambers at 1 o'clock for Code Board training. It's going to cover a bunch of different things. Glenn already said that. And then at the next City Council meeting, I wanted to let you both know, Ashley and Romy, that your appointments are up for reconsideration for the term to expire on October 31st, 2021. And council will hear that on the, I think it's October 23rd, the next Tuesday, council meeting that they have. And that's all I have for you guys today.
Thank you. Chairman's report. Remember, Monday night is our annual free dinner from the city, if everyone's going. Starts at 6 o'clock. It moves fast, so we're not going to be there half the night. It starts at 6, usually we're out there within 2.5 hours, if even that long. Not even. I know, I didn't think so. Okay. And don't forget next month, at our next meeting, be here at 1 o'clock. If you'd be here a few minutes before 1, then we can go ahead and get started as soon as possible. Board members report? Nope. All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.